The Adventure of Shoscombe Old Place. It was in the year 1894 that I found myself once again in the delightful scenery of the Thames Valley. My old friend, Sherlock Holmes, had a cottage near the village of Shoscombe, and it was to this that we were bound on this particular morning. As we drove through the beautiful countryside, Holmes remarked on the beauty of the scenery and the peace that it brought to his mind. I knew, however, that my friend was not one to be content with idle pleasure, and that there must be some underlying motive for his visit to Shoscombe. Our destination was a large estate known as Shoscombe Old Place, the seat of Sir Robert Norberton. Sir Robert was a man of ancient lineage, but he was also deeply in debt and had been forced to sell off much of his property. His only remaining asset was the famous Shoscombe racehorses, which he was very proud of and which brought in a large income. It was the fate of these horses that was to be the cause of our visit. On arriving at the estate, we were met by Sir Robert's sister, Lady Beatrice Falder. She was a stern-looking woman, with a forbidding manner, but Holmes greeted her with his usual politeness and charm. Lady Beatrice led us into the house and into the presence of Sir Robert himself. Sir Robert was a tall, thin man, with a face that was drawn and haggard. He was clearly suffering from some deep anxiety, and he greeted us with a nervous manner. After some small talk, Holmes got straight to the point and asked Sir Robert about the fate of his horses. Sir Robert told us that his prized stallion, Shoscombe Prince, had gone missing, and that he feared for the safety of his other horses. He suspected foul play, and he had come to Holmes for help. Holmes listened to his story with interest, and then asked to see the stables. We were led out into the courtyard, where we saw the famous Shoscombe horses. They were magnificent animals, and it was clear that Sir Robert took great pride in them. Holmes examined the stables carefully, and then asked to see the kennels. The kennels were situated some distance from the stables, and as we made our way towards them, Holmes remarked on the beauty of the estate. Lady Beatrice, however, seemed to take no pleasure in the scenery, and kept her eyes firmly fixed on the ground. When we arrived at the kennels, Holmes examined them carefully. He then turned to Lady Beatrice and asked her a question. She hesitated for a moment, and then told him that the kennels were used for the training of a pack of bloodhounds that Sir Robert used for hunting. Holmes then asked to see the dogs, and Lady Beatrice led us into a small room where they were kept. The dogs were fierce-looking creatures, and they barked and growled as we entered the room. Holmes examined them carefully, and then asked to see the head trainer. The head trainer was a man named John Mason, and he was clearly nervous when he saw Holmes. Holmes questioned him closely about the training of the dogs, and then asked him if he had seen anything unusual in the past few days. Mason hesitated for a moment, and then told us that he had seen Lady Beatrice walking towards the kennels in the early hours of the morning, carrying a large bundle. This information seemed to confirm Holmes's suspicions, and he thanked Mason and dismissed him. He then turned to Lady Beatrice and asked her to explain her actions. She hesitated for a moment, and then confessed that she had been going to the kennels to feed her brother's horses with some food that she had specially prepared for them. She was worried that her brother was not taking proper care of the horses, and wanted to ensure that they were being fed well. Holmes seemed satisfied with this explanation, but I could see that he was still not convinced. He asked Lady Beatrice if she would show us the way to the Shoscombe family vault, which was situated in a remote part of the estate. Lady Beatrice hesitated for a moment, and then led us through a maze of narrow paths and overgrown bushes to a small, isolated building. The building was old and dilapidated, and it was clear that it had not been used for some time. Lady Beatrice unlocked the door and led us inside. It was then that we saw the true purpose of our visit. Lying on a stone slab in the center of the room was the body of Shoscombe Prince, Sir Robert's prized stallion. The horse had been killed and then embalmed, and it was clear that his body had been stored in the vault for some time. Holmes examined the body carefully, and then turned to Lady Beatrice. He accused her of killing the horse and then hiding the body in the vault, in order to defraud her brother of his share of the racehorse winnings. Lady Beatrice tried to deny the accusation, but it was clear that Holmes had uncovered the truth. In the end, Lady Beatrice confessed to her crime, and she was arrested and taken away. Sir Robert was devastated by the news, but he thanked Holmes for uncovering the truth and promised to make amends for his sister's actions. As we left Shoscombe Old Place, Holmes remarked on the cunning of Lady Beatrice's plan. It had been an elaborate scheme, designed to deceive even the most astute observer. But Holmes had seen through the deception, and justice had been served. And so ended the adventure of Shoscombe Old Place, another chapter in the long and illustrious career of Sherlock Holmes. The end. It's my pleasure to read you this classic Sherlock Holmes adventure. Please like, share and subscribe for more. Please also leave your comments and we love to hear from you. Thank you.